In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the crop tool to crop an image to a specific aspect ratio, and also how to use the crop tool to straighten an image. Open the Bonneau JPEG, and then click the crop tool. To begin with, I notice that this image is slightly misaligned. That is, the cathedral tower is leaning slightly to the right. I'd like to correct this by straightening the image. Click this button here, and this allows you to straighten the image by drawing either a horizontal or a vertical line on it. In this case, I don't really see any horizontal lines, but I do see this vertical edge of the tower right here that I'd like to be truly vertical. So I'm going to drag a line there along that edge, and when it looks just about right, I'm going to release the mouse button, and it will rotate the image so that the line that I just sketched is vertical. What we're seeing out here are pixels that are going to be cropped away. It's called the crop shield. And you can use this menu here to get access to additional options. And down here you can change the opacity of the crop shield. When the shield is completely opaque, you can't see the pixels that it's going to crop. But I recommend turning this down a bit so you can be aware that there are pixels there that you can choose to use. In fact, you have an option whether you want to delete the cropped pixels forever or keep them in the file so that at some future point you might wish to change the aspect ratio of your crop, and the pixels that were initially there in the photo will not be lost. In this case, I want to change the aspect ratio of the image to 16:9, so I'll select this item from this pop-up. Doing so simply types in the values into these two boxes, so you can type in any two numbers to set whatever aspect ratio you wish. You can also use this button in the middle to swap the height and width values. And this goes between the portrait orientation and the landscape orientation. In this image, of course, it's a landscape, so I'll leave it in this orientation. You can drag within the crop area to move the picture relative to the crop frame. You can also drag the corners of the crop frame to resize it. In this case, I think I'd like to have this car in the photo for scale, and I don't want to crop it right above the tower. I want to have some sky up there. And I want a little more. In order to get that, I'm going to have to drag this out beyond the edge of the picture. And this is going to introduce an area over here that has no information. And we'll be able to fill that later using content-aware scale. And I'll show you how to do that in another video. But for now, let's settle on a particular crop window here. And we can use these guidelines here, which are set up with the rule of thirds, to help us make cropping decisions. You can change the way that this is shown here in a regular grid if you prefer, or in any of these other options. These are interesting ways to help you make cropping decisions. In this case, I'll just leave it set to rule of thirds. And I think I'm satisfied with this particular arrangement here where I see the car clearly. It's not right on the edge. And I leave a little sky above the spire here on this cathedral tower. So now that I'm done, I'll just click commit, and the changes are made. At any time in the future, you can just come back here with the crop tool and click anywhere in the window to get that frame back up on the screen. And you can change your mind and move the crop over a little bit and click commit again.